Hello and welcome to our coverage of the Under-18 Premier League National Final between Chelsea and Manchester City, live from Stamford Bridge. I'm Matt Davis-Adams, joined today by Chelsea Academy graduate Sam Parkin. So it's the Blues against the Citizens once more, two of the elite academies in European football over the last decade and more. They meet for the third time this season in a third different competition to determine the overall champion at under-18 level. City arrive as Northern champions, Chelsea cruise their way to the Southern title. Now they meet in this one-off game which must be concluded tonight, even if that takes extra time and penalties. City have already won the FA Youth Cup. They're looking to go a step further than last term when they lost the final of this to Aston Villa. Chelsea were beaten finalists here against Manchester United in 2024. They last won the national title in 2018. Blues come into this one having won their previous 9 matches. City were beaten in their last league outing, albeit they may well have had their minds on the Youth Cup final that day. Beautiful night for it, 27 degrees in London. The heat wave has hit. Most of the pitch is shaded though, so hopefully it's not going to be too difficult for the two sets of players climactically. Great occasion for them to get to play at Stamford Bridge. Some have done so before. Let's take a check on the two teams then. Chelsea showing 2 changes from the 11 that started against Leicester last time out. They're both out wide, with Ryan Kavuma-McQueen making just his second appearance of the season in this competition, and Matisse Eboué back after being with the first team of late. Reggie Walsh will be the number 10. Chizzy Azamwata leads the line. He's got 15 goals in this competition this season. A couple of names to look out for in the City team. Their captain, Caden Braithwaite, one of many who is in the England under-18 squad on both sides. They'll be renewing acquaintances pretty soon. Teddy Lamb, though, is the one to watch. 25 goals for him in 22 appearances in this competition. He's the top scorer across the North and South divisions. He's got number 9 on his back tonight. Our number 9 is Sam Parkin. Sam, it's, as I said, a magnificent opportunity for both sets of players. There's Chizzy Azamwata, who's doing what you used to do and leading the line for a Chelsea Academy side. Plenty of scouts watching on too. Whether you go on to make a career at Chelsea, City or elsewhere, this is the stage in which to show your talents.
Yeah, these are massive games for these young players, and there's no getting away from the fact that across the last decade, certainly, these are the two juggernauts of youth football, probably dating back a little bit further. In fact, copious youth cups between the two sides and all the other accolades that you can compete for in youth football. So, yeah, the ones that have had the taste of first team experience, been around it, they're the ones that you look to tonight to lead by example, to be able to cope with the game and playing at Stamford Bridge, and all the nerves that you'd normally experience, they are intensified on an evening like tonight. So hopefully it's the best Chelsea that we see, and Manchester City have a little bit of a rare off night, because I think that's what you're looking towards for a Chelsea victory. Beaten already twice by City this season. No, it's going to be tough, but in a one-off game, hopefully Blues can get it done.
That is Teddy Lamb, the aforementioned, signed from Leyton Orient last year. 2 skippers, 2 centre-halves, Dante Waite and Caden Braithwaite. Kane Dempster is the referee. So City finished 4 points clear of second place Man United in the PL North. Chelsea, as I say, breezed it in the end. 13 points clear of Spurs and Villa in second and third place, respectively. But as Sam mentions, defeat for Chelsea twice to City this season, beaten 4-1 in the Youth Cup 5th round at Kingsmeadow in February, and there was a PL Cup group stage defeat at City in October as well. That one was much closer, 3-2 on that occasion. Well, for some of these players, this will be the highlight of their career. Some will go on to even higher heights. But for tonight, it is all about trying to get hands on the silverware that the players walked past as they came out of the tunnel at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea versus Manchester City, two clubs who are heavily linked in all sorts of ways these days. Which one's going to come out on top? As I say, we must have a winner tonight. Extra time and penalties a possibility. Chelsea hoping to get it done inside 90 minutes. It's Ben Vickery, the City goalkeeper. It might be busy tonight. Certainly wouldn't expect this to be a goalless draw. He said almost certainly jinxing it. Chelsea 88 goals in 28 league games. City did even better. They only played 26 in the northern section. They got 96 goals, 26 more than the next highest team. So both sides with lots of goal threat amongst their ranks. It's Chelsea who get the national final underway. Reggie Walsh going all the way back to his goalkeeper, Freddie Bernal. There's another one who'll be meeting up with the England under-18s in the coming weeks. Number 11 for City, easily recognisable with his hairstyle, is Tyrone Samba. So Chris Samba's two sons, Tyrone and Floyd, both in the City squad. Tyrone is the one who starts tonight. City got a player down early on here, but the referee happy there was nothing untoward in the challenge on Makaidu, who's bounced back up to his feet now. He's a former Chelsea player, by the way, number 7 for City, Ryan Makaidu. Interesting shape here from Chelsea to start with, at least. Sam, looks like a 3 at the back. We're used to a pretty standard 4-2-3-1 from this team this season. It's given away by Subaloy, but only because he was fouled.
Yeah, it's Richards who obviously looked like he was starting right back, but very quickly almost going as a right-sided number 10. I was keeping a close eye on the warm-up. Emanalo was dropping into the back line. Maybe that's going to be a feature when they're defending up against City.
And goes Kavuma McQueen, who played on this pitch for the first team in the FA Cup quarter-final. What feels like a couple of weeks ago. Foul then gives City the free kick. Nicole Yazuli with the challenge.
Yeah, it does look like Richards is going to drop back in and pick up Samba when Chelsea are out of possession. So that's just going to be a little bit of a hybrid system.
No foul there. Chance here early on for Chelsea with Emanalo, who is not a natural goal scorer and maybe was in nosebleed territory just for a second there. He hasn't scored for the 18s or the 21s this season. Richards and Samba grappling for possession right by the corner flag meanwhile.
Yeah, pretty amazed that Kane Dempster allowed play to go on there. Emanalo winning the ball really high and just a bit reluctant to let fly on his right side, tried to manipulate it onto his left, and touch got away from him. City able to recover, but an early opportunity.
Here's Subaloy, Chelsea Scholar of the Year. Number 4 is back, going back to Bernal. It's a searching ball looking for Matisse Boué. That's got a bit too much on it for him to catch up to.
Just going back to Richards, interesting. I mean, it's the role that Cucurella did brilliantly a lot last season over this one, maybe Gusto at times as well, and I wonder if it's a thing that runs through the club in terms of the way they want the teams to set up with a fullback getting involved, or it's just the skill set of Richards himself which lends it to obviously going and playing a little bit higher when in possession.
City looking to get their first period of sustained possession here. This is Xavier Parker. Big bundle, but no foul. Samba dropping a shoulder and then dropping another. And Richards not falling for it. Done well to prevent a corner, but he ended up turning it over back to Parker. Another team able to really get hold of it so far. Here's Braithwaite, the captain. Switch from Gorman out right-hand side. Maybe City just starting to settle now. It's the former Blue Makaidu, managed to get it all the way across. Subaloy's clearance hasn't quite got the job done. Headley trying to keep it alive. Diakite trying to block the cross. Makaidu managed to hang on to it, but couldn't deliver it to a teammate.
Well, we've got that quite regular feature of Premier League football now, with both right backs doing a very similar role. Headley there, one of the furthest City players forward. You can see from his position now, kind of in that right 10 himself. So Emenalo doing a little bit of a job defensively, just keeping traps on him.
Chelsea coming into this game, as I say, in a 9-match winning run, unbeaten in their last 11. Had a wobble, lost 3 in 4 between February and March, but since then haven't dropped a point. City going for the domestic double, and a bit of space here in which to operate. Lamb just hanging back, waiting for it to come his way. It's Parker instead who gets the shot away. And it dribbled just wide of Bernal's post, with the Chelsea goalkeeper, I think, pretty confident that he would have got there had it been on target.
Yeah, it starts with a brilliant switch of play from Branthwaite, left to right, and I was just speaking about Headley and how forward he's been. He gets in down the right-hand side. I think it's a brilliant pick out, and I think, in fact, Park actually takes the touch in towards Subaloy. The space was all to his left. That was a better chance than he made of it.
Bernal thumps it over halfway. He was looking for Kavuma McQueen. Waite, regular captain for Chelsea this season, Dante Waite. Akite working it left-hand side for Matisse Aboué, who was on the bench at Anfield a couple of weeks ago. No foul there, so just needed to be a bit stronger. Well, Chelsea had all of the ball in the first couple of minutes. City have established themselves latterly. Here's Parker. Waite went up to engage him. Again, referee happy for some physical contact in the game. Nicole Yazuli moved it on to Walsh. This is where he can do his damage. Got lots of options here, Reggie Walsh. Chose Matisse Aboué. Pass was slightly behind him. Here's Kavuma McQueen. Decent save from the keeper. Ezemwata on the follow-up. And Chelsea ahead in no time at all. 6 minutes and a few seconds more. And it's him again. Chizzy Ezemwata with his 16th league goal of the season. And Chelsea ahead inside the opening 10 minutes.
Well, the referee's been very consistent from the first whistle. He's let 3 or 4 little infringements go. And it was Parker who went to ground for Manchester City. Not too many of them in conversation with the referee now as they get ready to kick off, but it's a swift Chelsea break. There's loads of space to exploit given the players that Manchester City are committed to the attack. Walsh carrying it forward. This is a really good pick out from Aboué. Look at the space afforded to Kavuma McQueen on the edge of the box, not closed down. Goalkeeper does well, but the centre forward is alive, as you should be. Ezemwata gets onto it, and it's a really solid side foot finish into the net on the volley. Lovely stuff.
1 off 20 for the season in all comps now. Hasn't taken him long to make a mark on this game, Chizzy Ezemwata. He scored twice in the PL Cup defeat at City back in October. One of those was from the penalty spot. He's actually been in and out of the starting lineup in the last few weeks. He's been changing with Jashade Greenwood, who's on the bench, but he's in from the start tonight and showing his value almost immediately.
Yeah, and he really anticipated that, to be on the front foot, to meet it on the volley. Yes, it was pushed up into the sky, but he sensed there was an opportunity for him. Good save from the goalkeeper. He'll probably be feeling maybe he could have pushed it a little bit out towards the side of the 18-yard box rather than into the danger area, but centre forward finished it smartly.
Good challenge there from Aboué. He was a bit unlucky that it broke to a City player, but he's got it back here, Matisse Aboué. He's got Ezemwata making his move. He might want to do it all himself here. Aboué! Brilliant! 2-0. What a start and what a goal. 2 in 2 minutes for Chelsea. And that's a beauty from Matisse Aboué.
Well, had a big hand in the opener, and that's his own work. Brilliant goal. Just got isolated up against the right-sided centre-half, Drake. Takes it on his left side, unerring finish across the goalkeeper. He had a decision to make the centre-half, and he just, I think, was a little bit of aware of what was going on to his left-hand side, a bit slow to close him down, but once he got it into a shooting position, he finished it really smartly. Great anticipation initially, then drives. He's looking square, looking for the pass And you can see Drake's just a little bit slow to get across to him, and therefore he has the space, has the angle to drill it towards the far corner, and he finds it really beautifully. He's looking for the pass until that moment, then that quick shift off the right, and it's a brilliant angled finish.
Not a bad celebration either. Well, his productivity has been immense of late this season. That's his 11th goal in the Premier League. He's also got 6 assists, so that's 17 goal involvements in what is his 25th appearance in the competition. City stunned here. There's a danger this game gets away from them before it's really got going. Even 10 minutes in, Sam, they're probably thinking they've got to get the next goal, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And it came at a stage, the first goal anyway, when they really settled Manchester City and were looking the more likely. Referee blows up now. I'm sure some of the guys down there on the City bench would have potentially liked to hear the referee's whistle a little bit more often in this early part, because he's let quite a few challenges go, especially for the Chelsea opener, which I'm sure they probably felt should have been deemed a foul.
Nice touch from Walsh there for Eboué. Koyasula gave it to Emanalo. There's Eboué again. Chelsea happy to keep the ball now. They need to force it, of course. They might feel though while they're so on top. There's an opportunity to fill their boots. Waits ball over the top for Ezenwata. Tight angle here. Cut it back for Louis Richardson. Oh, goodness me, I'm sure that was in. Flags up anyway after Ezenwata puts the follow-up in. It was almost 3-0 and maybe game over. What a start. Yeah,
and only 11 minutes in, that could prove to be a really pivotal moment in the game. Touch just got away from the centre forward. Ezenwata just took him a little wide so he couldn't take the strike on himself, and you just sense that it was going to hit the inside of the post and fly into the net. So unfortunate, Richards. And the centre forward was indeed offside as he reacted to put the rebound away.
Manchester City look punch drunk here, and Chelsea look like they're going to score every time they attack.
Yeah, it was horrible defending, wasn't it? It was a simple ball that should have been dealt with by Branthwaite. Ezenwata's had a great start to the game, and I was just thinking as it dropped, could his first touch be a little bit tidier and take him in towards Wickery's goal? Just went a little wide, hence the set for Richards, who arrived on cue.
City 9 wins from 13 away from home in the league this season. Very much on the back foot here. It was too difficult for Reggie Walsh to trap. Maybe they can get something going in an attacking sense here with Samba. Ceballos strong up against him though. And Bernal going route one with his clearance. Not quite dropped for Ezenwata. Flicked off Braithwaite. If you're City, you've just got to try and keep the ball for a little while now, surely, and just dampen down Chelsea's red-hot start to this game.
Yeah, I think just even for Chelsea now, just to take the sting out of the game a little bit, just keep it, just don't take any overt risks to let City get back in the game at this stage. Going at 2-0, you're absolutely delighted, so you don't have to finish the game inside the opening 15 minutes, that's for sure. But yeah, just game management now. Don't do anything stupid. Brilliant position.
Samba and Richards is going to be one of the key battles in this match, it would seem. Samba twisting and turning, and he was fouled right on the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, he's had a good start. I mean, he's sided 2-0 down, but he's looked bright, and that was a lovely little bit of skill. I think he just got his body in there, and it was a little roll of the studs. He couldn't possibly see, probably, the football. Richards protected brilliantly by Samba, and now a free kick. Parker standing over it in a good position.
Yeah, closer to goal, but a similar sort of angle from where Enzo Fernandez hit the bar here on Tuesday night. If Parker's going to have a crack here. Left it to Gorman in the end. He's a left footer, he's going to try and pick out my colleague, you would think, rather than shoot himself. See of players lined up on the edge of the 6-yard box. Gorman squared it to the edge of the penalty area instead. Shot was deflected on its way in, and then Aboué got his head to it. And Waite shoveled it away from danger. For a little hotter on his whistle now. Here's Makaidu. Great challenge from Madi Nicolia-Zuli. Aboué. 4 forward in this Chelsea attack. Almost wanted to be slipped in. Aboué's going alone again. Sees his shot deflected behind for the first corner of the game.
There was a pass on just slightly earlier for Walsh, who's made those little darts quite impressively. But not been fed too readily. And Aboué, why not, taking the strike on again. Little deflection, taking it into the side netting, but he's been incredibly bright. Again, going on that left side. That was goal bound.
If you're not aware, he is the son of the former Arsenal man, Emmanuel Aboué. Joined Chelsea from Watford last year, Matisse.
Seen some unbelievable quality already. That pass from Gorman there, left foot drilled to the chest of a teammate wide on the right-hand side for Manchester City. Some wonderful technique.
Now Richards has got a real whip on him. It was a good ball as well to Waite. He's disappointed that he didn't get his header on target.
He has to go back towards the left-hand post. Just doesn't connect with it properly. Half a chance. Not too sure he would have been able to score from that position, but head it back towards the opposite corner and maybe a teammate would have been laying in wait.
Chelsea got a lot of goals from corners this season with Louis Richards whipping them in like that. Nicolia-Zuli. There's Diakite, first chance for him to wander forward, slightly heavy touch. Going back off him via Harrison Miles.
I've not seen too much of that, the goalkeeper playing out, but that was really nice. Swift passing, moving it up the pitch. Nicolia-Zuli could have let the ball run, actually into the space, but neat and tidy, progressing the ball up the pitch.
City happy to work it out from the back under some pressure. They did it nicely there as well. Actually switch right-hand side by Wayne for Makaidu. Have a go here, Makaidu! Whoa, how about that? City back in it in stunning style, and it's the former Blue who's got them to within a goal. Thumper of a strike that, not the first time he scored against Chelsea since leaving, and it's 2-1.
It's an unbelievable strike. It's a good ball. I think Miles, who feeds it out to the right-hand side, but just too much space. Diakite in discussions with his teammates now. It's obviously his man who scores the goal. Can he get out a little bit quicker? Almost like he's running into trouble. He felt that Chelsea were going to get a challenge in. This is a little too easy. Actually, Wayne, the left-back, who feeds it out to the right-hand side, and yeah, he's just a little bit aware of Headley again. He's got a 2v1 developing, comes in field, but that is just breathtaking. It's an outstanding finish. The pace on it, you knew it was destined for that top left-hand corner, but he receives it, and he's able to take, what, 4, 5, 6 touches before he's engaged. But that is just a thing of beauty. What a strike.
Scored against his old club in the FA Youth Cup meeting in February. He scored against Chelsea's under-21s at the end of last season too. Game on then. We've played for 20 minutes yet. We've had 3 goals already. two of them are the highest quality. Zamwata, the other goal scorer, wins the free kick.
Kavuma McQueen's probably actually been the quietest of the Chelsea front three, and just thinking Manchester City centre forward, full of goals this season, Lamb, but he's hardly had a kick. In contrast to what Zamwata has done at the opposite end, he has been very, very dominant up against the two Manchester City centre halves thus far.
Richards clips it into the penalty area, or free header, and now a turning shot possibility for Zamwata. He just couldn't sort himself out quickly enough, but slack defending from City. Back in from Richards, and be down by Subaloy.
I mean, they are all over the place, Manchester City defensively. There was a couple of chances there. Subaloy could have taken it down, that's the first thing. Here's a problem for Emanalo.
He's dealt with it very well indeed.
Subaloy could have taken it down, and then the strike wasn't really on. Zamwata had two players in support. Had he looked for the little set, I'm sure there was a better chance.
On the slide goes Louis Richards to put it out for a throw. It was never likely to be a game bereft of goals, this, given both sides' proficiency in that regard. City have scored in every league game this season after they blanked in this fixture at Villa Park last term. Chelsea only failed to score twice in a 0-0 draw against Norwich in November, and a very unfortunate 1-0 defeat against West Brom at Cobham in March. Walsh trying to stamp his authority on proceedings, laid it off for Aboué. His cross looking for Zamwata, headed up into the air by Braithwaite. Richards trying to get there before Samba. And McQueen lifted it over the head of Wayne.
So it's almost as if down the left-hand side's where both teams are getting the most joy. Aboué on the left-hand side up against Headley, because he's got that dual role, having to get forward into the kind of right pocket and get back and defend, and Samba on the left-hand side causing Richards a problem.
Here's Parker, good block from Subaloy. This is Gorman now. Wayne, nice little touch to take him away from Kavuma McQueen. Actually, he did lay it off, wondered if he might have had a go himself there. Here's Makaidu up against Diakite once more. Heavy touch allowed the Chelsea defender to shepherd it behind.
Yeah, he knew that was a big moment, considering he just scored his opposite number and almost showed him the line, didn't he? Just said, you're not coming in on the left side, but not only that, showed the pace, the turn of pace to get back and get his body in. Good defending.
Well, he knew he had talent when he was playing for Chelsea's under-18s a couple of years ago, Ryan Makaidu. He's actually scored for Manchester City's first team this season. Won his debut against Exeter in that 10-1 FA Cup third round win. Now we'll have to get used to this in the World Cup. Halfway through the first half, time for drinks. And a time to draw breath, Sam.
Yeah, it's been an incredible start. I mean, there's just so much quality on display, especially in attacking areas, and it's probably in keeping with the last decade of football, isn't it, where people say defending's a little bit of a dying art, but I think it's just you have to nod towards the superb attributes of some of the forward players, the skill, the industry, and the quality finishing that's been on display as well. So they've got a difficult job defensively tonight, and I'll be astonished if that's the end of the scoring. Chelsea are in a game here, but in an attacking sense have started incredibly well.
If you're late joining us, Chizzy Zamwata and Matisse Aboué scored in the space of 2 minutes inside the opening 10 before Makaidu's wonder strike has brought City back into the game. Dan Hogan back with the under-18s. He's been part of Callum McFarlane's staff with the first team, so he's missed the last couple of games. Fraser Robertson, his assistant, has been taking charge, but Dan back for the big one. Lots of friends, family and supporters, and plenty of scouts in as well, looking for the next potential star of the future. And these two clubs have produced their fair share of those. You go back to the 2018 final. Chelsea beat Man United 3-0. Reece James, Tariq Lamptey, Mark Gay, Billy Gilmore, Callum Hudson-Odoi all started that game. Sir Oliver Rees, the German, who is the coach of Manchester City, second season in charge for him. Mentioned a couple of times the fact they're looking to go one better. It was a real sickener for City last season. They won 21 successive games in the league season and then ended up losing the final to Aston Villa. Big night for him too, of course. At least he's familiar with the Stamford Bridge dugout by now. What was that, about 2.5, 3 minutes I make that break? Just long enough to get an ad break in when we get to the World Cup, I bet. Here's Subaloy. Richards up toward Ezemwata. Surely that's a free kick for Chelsea. Indeed it was. Not very subtle that from Leke Drake.
Yeah, well, my hunch is he gets a little bit of good fortune there, but it's an amazing touch because he's second favourite. He just dangled his right leg into the air, Ezemwata, and he's able to run round the defender and get his body in. Brilliant play because he was second favourite when he was clipped towards him. His coach is having a pop at him, but he's having a conversation with him now. I thought that was exquisite centre forward play.
Here's Kavuma McQueen. Subaloy. Thumped it by Kavuma McQueen to Richards, who's so far forward again. And Kite on the slide to clear up. Really good from Ryan Kavuma McQueen. Oh, the referee thinks that he used excessive force, or maybe it's the fact that the City player Wayne is down with what could be a head injury.
He doesn't agree with the decision, but yeah, it looked like there was just an arm across the face. Wayne looked to anticipate, looked like he'd done really well. Had to use his body to try and roll him, but yeah, maybe just a little bit overzealous. He was in a great position, wasn't he, to drive towards that City back line once more, had he been able to continue.
Cushioned header. Nicole Yazuli under pressure from twos, ended up losing it to Gorman. Gorman got his shot away too again. I think Bernal got his angles right, but it wasn't a bad attempt.
Yeah, he's got lovely left foot, hasn't he? And it's a decent effort, but I think the better option is to play Lamb earlier. He's been cutting a bit of a full-on figure up there, the centre forward, and he showed his upset at not being fed a little earlier there. You can see here another one where the foul could have been awarded, but look at him, he's in between the two centre halves, doesn't get played. Lamb just drilled it towards the far post. Decent attempt, but missed by a couple of yards.
Loose one there from Bernal. Seem to clear their heads a little, don't they, City, after that early Chelsea salvo?
Yeah, the attacks to our right, few and far between at the moment. City kind of in control, but not too much either. And Bernal's goal. No touch for him here. Samba still looking probably the most likely. The central midfield players have been neat and tidy actually for City, getting on the ball. They've got a good range of passing, but I think Samba is going to fancy his chances if he can receive the ball up against Richards deep in the Chelsea territory.
Good ball that from Bernal, meanwhile. Here's Kavuma McQueen. Lofted in by Kavuma McQueen, headed down by Aboué as Amata almost got there.
Oh, brilliant ball in. Kavuma McQueen. He's only really got one thing to hit, and he finds Aboué perfectly, and his set is not too bad either.
Oh, that's a mistimed challenge between Dante Waite and Xavier Parker.
It just felt a little bit unnecessary. You could see from our vantage position that he wasn't going to be able to get to the ball. I don't know if he's just trying to clear it, Waite, but he steams into Parker with the ball gone.
First yellow card of the night goes to the Chelsea captain, Dante Waite. So he was a mainstay of the team. He's only missed one game in the league all season.
Maybe he's actually just trying to pull out of it. He's a little late into it. It doesn't look like he actually swung his leg towards the City number 10.
Richards overcooks that one, looking for Ezamata. Oh, goalkeeper's made a bit of a mess of it though. Here's Aboué. First time off for Walsh. But too eager to win it back. Quite been able to stamp his authority on that midfield yet, Reggie Walsh. Good feel about this game. Lots of quality, but lots of full-blooded challenges as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Parker's just pulling left over the last 5-10 minutes, maybe just freeing up that space on the right-hand side to hit those crossfield balls. We've seen a couple of wonderful ones. You can see what he can do as well, or we've seen what he can do, McAdoo, on the right. So there's a bit of an overload being developed down on the left. Then Manalo's the spare man currently.
Lovely little touch off there from Lamb. Parker. Koyazili did well to win it back. Marta, that's lovely off for Kavuma McQueen.
He's hardly put a foot wrong. The striker has been superb. Got his goal and his link-up play against two bigger chaps, you've got to say, back there. Has been first class.
There's Kavuma McQueen as Marta amongst those in the middle waiting for a cross. Sent in by Kavuma McQueen with a little too much height on it.
Oh, it's a shame, really contrasting to the last one he put in, which was a beauty. Probably had a little bit more time previously. Wayne's quite tight to him on that occasion and has to put it in a little bit quicker. Fraction too heavy.
Wait. They're trying to get it under control. Scissors challenge to win the ball back by Headley. Chelsea had a really good start to the season, went undefeated through to the end of January, won 10 of the opening 13 games in the league and had that wobble and then got back on the horse and made it all the way to the title. Walsh. Inabue not quite on the same frequency yet.
The Headley got back into position really well and read Reggie Walsh's intentions, matched the run, and yeah, Bua, I think, understood that and just put the brakes on.
A foul on Richards by Samba. That was something from Samba afterwards to one of the Chelsea subs.
Chelsea ball, wasn't it?
Hogan making that point.
Yeah, well out of play off Samba.
Inside the final 10 minutes, the first 45. Now Kavuma McQueen, can he stretch his legs here? Abue, the most advanced of his teammates. Might do it himself here. Ryan Kavuma McQueen, he has! He squeezed it under the goalkeeper for 3-1. And Chelsea have their 2-goal buffer back. Vickery's not going to look back on that with any fondness. But Kavuma McQueen started on halfway and just kept on running. And his reward was a goal.
Yeah, a little bit untidy down the left-hand side for Manchester City. They couldn't just get control of the ball, but Chelsea competitive and tenacious, winning the ball back. And then Kavuma McQueen has lots of space, still loads to do. Manchester City holding a little bit of an inquest as they concede for the third time already this evening in this first half, but he's been a little bit peripheral, Kavuma McQueen, but came alive there, driving forward, takes it on to, you see, the weaker of his 2 feet. You see here, it's just whether he can get the angle to get the finish away, and it has to be power, has to be driven. Probably hasn't got the angle to play into the far corner. Drills it towards the goalkeeper. Vickery gets a big piece of it, but can't get it away from the goal, and Kavuma McQueen gives Chelsea that cushion.
Well, he hasn't played in an under-18 Premier League match since September. He's back with a bang tonight. His team have got their 2-goal advantage restored. Richards in no rush to get the ball back in play. Almost it again then, Kavuma McQueen. Both sides look particularly potent in attack, but City have shown that they are very get-at-able defensively. Kite well forward here. Trent with a good challenge to win it back. Richards.
Just tried to force it a little bit there, Richards. Maybe should have just taken an extra touch or two. I think the referee's going to have a word. There was possibly a couple of infringements there. We'll have a word with the captain, in fact. Maybe something been said, not too sure, but definitely was a foul. Richards had, and a good decision, I think, to make that City counter just go dead.
need for any further action than a telling off. City looking to reduce the arrears before half-time. Goal kick.
He took a risk, didn't he, Abue? Flew into the challenge, but must have just made contact with his right boot, forcing the ricochet off Headley.
A cost by the looks of things. Teddy Lamb not showing him too much sympathy. I don't think he wants to get on with the game rather than trying to be helpful. We're going according to plan so far for Dan Hogan. Zamato wins the flick on again. Got it back from Kavuma McQueen. His first thought was to go forward. Kavuma McQueen likewise. Zamato wants to open up an angle for a shot which is deflected and behind for a corner. Chelsea look full of goals tonight.
Yeah, and he's been so bright. Hold up play, touch has been assured. Getting to scoring positions, and there I thought that was a fine effort actually on his weaker left side. Gets the deflection immediately almost and just spins wide of the far upright, but really good attempt again. Very direct, and it's off that initial challenge coming in from Drake, which takes it spinning beyond the whitewash for the corner.
Again, it's Richards to deliver. It's a teasing one again, right into the 6-yard box. Not as far as Walsh. Stuck back in by Richards as Marta trying to make contact. It was a City body that made the last touch though. It's another corner.
Yeah, and I make the referee right there as well. There was a cluster of players, wasn't there, around the 6-yard box. I'm just thinking, can one of those Chelsea central defenders keep it alive? Not it.
From the near side to us to deliver this one. A good ball as well. Oh, and the keeper stuck a paw out at it and managed to just about repel the header. Dante Waite.
Yeah, terrific save, because Nico Azuli is right in front of Vickery when the ball's coming towards him. It's not going the quickest of paces, but he still does brilliantly, I think, not only to get the hand on it, to push it above. I think he's probably going to see that late. Actually, not too far away from him, but still does well to push it over.
Richards once more, travelled a long way, and on the goal line it's turned in, but that one's not going to count either. Chelsea protest.
He's saying he didn't touch it, and that kind of was my sentiment after he slid in. Can't believe it. That's definitely what he's saying, and it was another mess. I mean, set pieces, they're definitely identifying that, you know, if they stop the goalkeeper coming out, there's big problems. Invariably, they're winning that first kind of contact, keeping it alive, Chelsea, but they are looking susceptible every time the corners are slung in there.
That's so obvious from Ryan Kavuma McQueen on Parker. So referees would have booked him for that. Braithwaite worked it right-hand side. Boué made sure it didn't get to Makaidu. Manalo, nicely done. Nico Yazuli, was he fouled there? Not just fouled, it was a yellow card as well.
Yeah, unnecessary challenge because he's running into trouble, isn't he? There's plenty of Manchester City players around Nico Yazuli when he runs into that space, but yeah, Parker trying to come back and do some work for his team, just a little bit overzealous into the challenge.
So Parker into the book, 5 minutes of stoppage time signalled as a minimum at the end of the first half. Loads in it, but enough in the mind of the referee.
He's been good actually. He's an elegant player on the ball, picking it up and making sensible decisions in possession.
Switched out left-hand side by Richards for Boué. Subalo got a boot to it. Again, Manalo last man back. Firm header to get it back to his keeper, Bernard. Kavuma McQueen. The defender stumbled. Kavuma McQueen still going. Oh, what a shame, he made a mess of his finish. That was a big opportunity. Wayne was out of the game.
Yeah, brilliant play, just showed in the ball initially, didn't he? Inflict it on the outside and gets done with a beautiful little bit of skill, but then he's just a little over eager to get the shot away. It was almost like he needed another step. His foot pattern meant that he was just a little bit on the stretch for that. Cut across the ball and sailed horribly wide in the end with teammates in good position square of him.
Boué. We've got work to do at half time.
Yeah, they need to improve defensively. I don't think there's been too much wrong with Manchester City's attacking play. They've scored one, they've had 2 or 3 other half opportunities, but yeah, defensively, Chelsea have caused them so many problems in open play and from dead balls. I think that's a big thing as well to take into the second half as well. Keep putting the goalkeeper under pressure, keep making sure the quality's there with the delivery, and you can see more goals in the second half, that's sure, for the Chelsea lads.
Boué. Walsh all the way to the byline. Oh, almost found Desmond Marta. Chelsea will have a corner to finish the half here.
Yeah, Drake's well positioned just to stick out his right leg to make sure he deflects it behind for another corner, but good play from Walsh, just as legs are getting a little bit tired towards the end of the first half. I think he was thinking about the whistle there rather than driving forward for that fourth.
And from Richards once more. Goalkeeper gets the benefit of the decision there. Well, there's the half-time whistle, and what a first half it's been for Chelsea here. They are 3-1 up against Manchester City. Asamoah and Eboué scoring inside the first 10 minutes. City then pulled one back in stunning fashion from Ryan Makaidu, and Chelsea extending their lead still further through Ryan Kavuma-McQueen. So going the Blues' way in the first half at Stamford Bridge. Still plenty to do though in the Under-18 Premier League National Final, where at the break at the bridge the score is Chelsea 3, Manchester City 1. Well, it's well worth reliving the first half, because there was plenty of quality in it from both sides, certainly in an attacking sense. City with the first chance of the game there from Parker, and actually they started okay, Sam, for the first 6 minutes.
Yeah, they probably settled the quicker. Headley was a feature in that on the right-hand side. Parker with the first real shot in anger. And then it was that kind of potential foul that was waved away. Early part in that attack. Kavuma-McQueen working the goalkeeper. But yeah, I mean, that looks like an easy finish, but he's so on the front foot, anticipating that he gets there for the rebound. But not only that, he gets there on the volley. And it's a really accomplished finish, strong side foot.
So that was 7 minutes. 2 minutes later, Matisse Eboué able to pinch the ball back. He saw Asamoah was well placed, but he thought, I fancy getting in on the act too, and indeed he did.
Yeah, great finish. The anticipation was very impressive as well. It was Headley who just lost his footing. It meant that he was able to get in there, and I just thought there was a bit of a reluctance to get across there from Drake, the Manchester City centre half. Should have been closed a little quicker, Eboué, but a great finish nonetheless.
Chelsea looking like they were going to score every time they came forward. This was Asamoah with another potential effort. He ended up cutting it back for Richards, who hit the post, and then the flag went up for the rebound.
Yeah, he couldn't believe it. It's just so close to Chelsea's third.
We thought at that point that might have killed the game off. Chelsea with chance after chance really in the first half. It was Waite, and as we said at the time, probably should have gone back across the goalkeeper. City's goal was pretty special though.
Yeah, it's good play actually in the build-up from Wayne, the left back. He looks like a good footballer. He's very accomplished with the ball, but this was just brilliant from Makaidu coming in off that right-hand side. I mean, Diakite's done really well up against him since this moment, but the one occasion he gives him too much space. Shouldn't be allowed to have that many touches. I think that little overlapping run actually probably does for the left back, but astonishingly good finish.
And you thought then that that would spark City into life. They did have opportunities thereafter. That was Gorman dragging one just wide.
Well, Lamb's definitely been quiet, hasn't he? The centre forward, he was completely disappointed that he wasn't fed there, and obviously it leads to Chelsea going up the other end a few minutes later, and giving McQueen squeezing it in, really. I mean, he had to go for power, I think, from that angle. Goalkeeper's not going to want to see it again, but gives Chelsea a lovely cushion going into the second half.
Great direct running from Ryan Kavuma McQueen. And yeah, Ben Vickery probably ought to have kept it out. Could even have been more goals thereafter. It's been Chelsea who've been blisteringly good in attack so far in this game. The City have been woeful at the back. That was a brilliant save, though, to deny Subaloy. Well, there's probably more goals in this game, you would assume. Hopefully they'll be Chelsea ones. Don't go too far. Second half comes soon. Right then, Chelsea 45 minutes away from being crowned Premier League champions at under 18 level. This is the national final. Chelsea 3, Manchester City 1, the half-time score. The Southern champions having the better of it against the Northern champions so far. Out for revenge, the Blues, having been knocked out of the Youth Cup by City back in February. But a scintillating first half performance, and that is going to signal some changes for Manchester City. As you can see, there are 3 players waiting to come on. Floyd Samba, who is Tyrone's brother and also Chris's son. Regan Heskey, yes, that is Emil's boy, got the winner in the Youth Cup final. And Karim Kassim are the 3 players who are coming on. Gorman, the first man to go off. Xavier Parker also withdrawn. Only the 3rd player who is giving way here. It's the 4th Official Services Board out, we'll know. We've already done that one. One's already gone off. So Kassim, Samba and Heskey all on in a triple half-time substitution. That tells you all you need to know, Sam, about what Oliver Rees thought of his team's first half performance.
Yeah, a little bit surprised, but yeah, quite ominous, I suppose, for Chelsea. The names that are entering the fray here at half-time, given their pedigree in the youth game. But yeah, it's a bold strategy from the coach. You imagine they will start with a little bit of vigour. So important, I think, Chelsea get through the first 10-15 minutes with the 2-goal cushion. Hopefully keep defending with the same intensity. I think Richards up against, I was going to say, Samba. He's
the other one who's gone off.
Yeah, he is the 3rd to be withdrawn. So we'll see who takes up that position on the left-hand side, because that was a good battle, which Richards had his hands for, and I thought Samba looked like a very good player in that first half. But yeah, he's one that's sacrificed at half-time. So
Tyrone Samba, Xavier Parker and Finley Gorman off. Floyd Samba, Karim Kassim and Regan Heskey, the 3 who've come on for City. As I say, Heskey got the winning goal in the Youth Cup final against Man United a couple of weeks ago. Another who's played for City's first team this season.
Yeah, it's Heskey over on the left-hand side up against Richards, taking the place of Samba. Kassim in the centre of midfield. Therefore, Samba as the 10 in place of Parker.
It was defence that was the issue. See if there's a little rejig in that line, but they're all attacking players who've been brought on. Here's Headley. Akaidu, the goal scorer. It's a bit of a surprise that Floyd Samba didn't start, actually. You might have seen his brilliant free kick in that FA Youth Cup final I referenced.
Yeah, I think the first thing, they've taken up a couple of the smaller players, certainly in terms of Parker and Gorman, and I would suggest 3 players coming on all over 6 foot. So it's given them a real physicality up against Chelsea's back line as they chase this deficit.
Subaloy, no surprises, no changes for Chelsea, by the way. Got Yissa Alau, who's a left-back on the bench, Toby Bell, the goalkeeper, Reggie Watson, central midfielder we haven't seen for a while, Jashea Greenwood, the striker, and Sol Gordon, the winger. Lots of goals between Greenwood and Gordon of late. Here's Nicole Yazuli. One of those fairly straightforward team talks for Dan Hogan. Keep doing what you're doing, don't get complacent sort of thing.
Yeah, I think so. Keep defending with that intensity. I think there's been some really good individual battles. Duels going on out there. I mean, the centre-forward's been incredibly quiet. If you think of the effect that Chelsea centre-forwards had on City's back line, very contrasting to what Lamb's had to go on so far. So, yeah, keep up that concentration where that's concerned, because we know he's full of goals, but Chelsea have made him look pretty ordinary in the opening 50 minutes or so here.
Here's Richards. Bent one toward Reggie Walsh. Unlucky, it didn't quite run for Walsh. It was a lovely pass. Here's Aboué. Saw his threat in the first half. To the byline he goes, just ran out of road. Chelsea got such quality all over the pitch, but particularly in wide areas tonight. Say it often, don't we? But the next goal in this game is a big one. City will feel it's game on if they get it. Might be game over if Chelsea score next. It's going to come down from a long way in the sky from Freddie Bernal.
Well, no surprise, it's Wayne who plucks it out of the sky. He's a good footballer. He's shown really good quality on the ball so far. So it's slightly unusual. He's very right-footed, playing at left back, but he's very cultured. Seen that from the outset this evening.
Here's Headley. First chance for Floyd Samba to show us what he can do. Gave it short in the end. Now he's got it back. And a twist and turn against Louis Richards. Ended up running into Walsh. Now Aboué, bit of green grass to run into here. He's got support from Kavuma, McQueen and Ezemwata too. City quick to get men back. Aboué forced to go back. Kite. Walsh. Emanuelo advanced here. Here's Walsh again into the penalty area. Strong enough to hold off the challenge. Mikoya Zuli, space right hand side, came back the other way and found Aboué. Nice little drop of the shoulder. Oh, now then, that's a risky challenge, but a good one according to the referee from Makaidu.
Yeah, he makes a really strong challenge there, commits himself. Aboué again with lovely inventive play, wriggling free, getting inside. You felt the Manchester City defenders to get his strike away. Makaidu coming from the wrong side, you would say, to make a really telling contribution.
Chelsea subs just going to limber up for the first time. These two academy sides who've really forged a rivalry in the last decade. And the FA Youth Cup final on 4 occasions in quick succession.
Yeah, that was good from Samba. First time he received the ball really in the pocket, made an intelligent angle, got turned immediately, just trying to play it in for the centre forward. Lambert just prized out ultimately by some more good defending.
Suspicion of handball there. Referee happy for play to go on. Here's Headley. Stopped in his tracks by Aboué. City may be shading it at the start of the second half, but nothing for Freddie Bernal to do since the restart. Chelsea only let in 24 goals in the regular season, the fewest in the league, 11 clean sheets in their 28 games. They're looking to do some damage at the other end of the pitch with the Bouet. Again, he makes that little bit of space. It's good defending though from Headley at the cost of a corner.
Yeah, good challenge. Great play again from Ezamata. Absolutely superb. Second favourite, so it seemed, but somehow wrestles possession for Chelsea, spreads it. I think it was Walsh who clipped the ball out left-hand side for a Bouet. Well defended by Headley on that occasion, but all about the centre forward, who is giving up a good few inches in height to all those Manchester City defenders, but he's been incredibly good.
Number 6 of the game for Chelsea. Again, it's Louis Richards. He's going to send it over. Goalkeeper able to fist it away. They'd hit the deck in the middle there, but no real appeals for a penalty. Chelsea probably not too fussed, Sam, that it's a fairly leisurely start to the second half.
No, absolutely not. If the game just drifts for a period, they'll take that all day. You'd have been expecting, as a Chelsea player coming out at the start of the second half, that there was going to be a storm coming their way given the triple change, but it's not happened as of yet.
Here's Walsh. Bouet. Clever header there from Ezamata, did well to make a connection. Headley. Makaidu. Akite trying to hold him up. Come back to Headley. The shot was by Waite. Cross dealt with by Subaloy. Bouet gets the free kick. Protecting the goalkeeper well here, aren't they, Chelsea?
Yeah, it's a good block. Subaloy, I think it was. Heskey's first sight of goal, really. Came in field of Richards, looked to just use him as a shield and bend it towards the far corner, but Chelsea getting another block on the ball. And that was the first time they've looked a little stretched, probably since the break.
Careful there with Lamb trying to win the ball back. Ominously quiet so far. Teddy Lamb, the top scorer in the Under-18 Premier League this season. Richards trying to play it behind the defender for Kavuma McQueen. It's a pretty cheap turnover of possession in Chelsea's favour. A man down here though. City referee just wants to check on Headley.
Yeah, he's been good. His positional play, his sense of where to position himself is excellent. There was a moment a couple of minutes ago when it was cut off kind of in that right 10 position to receive it. Then he pulled wide, gets it in space, and that set City away for that Heskey opportunity on his right foot. So yeah, he's been a big part of their kind of attacking play, Headley. Not sure how he found himself over on that left-hand side momentarily. He's getting back to his feet now, should be okay, but he's had an eye-catching evening so far.
Nice night for some football at the Bridge. So much live academy football on the official Chelsea app, website and YouTube channel this season. And it's been a very successful one too. Under 21s winning the first phase of the PL2 season. And under 18s might go all the way to be national champions. Fulham keeps producing year after year. And Bouet. Richards. McQueen. And one with Wayne. Going to go for goal, Kavuma McQueen. Didn't work the goalkeeper, but not a bad effort nonetheless.
They just tried to reverse it, whip it into that near post with real venom. Didn't miss by much. Yeah, very even second half so far, which absolutely suits Chelsea down to the ground. And Manchester City got it in their armoury, I think, after such a successful season, to find another gear now, or have they ultimately run out of steam and as well run into a Chelsea side who are banging form.
Averaging more than 3.5 goals a game this season, the City. Here's Headley again. Diakite might have a problem there, having gone in on the slide. There's a Bouet caught there.
Yeah, he's at the one moment, hasn't he, Diakite, beaten by Kaidu for the City goal. Other than that, he's been very impressive. I mean, he is very, very quick when he gets going. 30-40 yards. Nice left foot. He's been nice and composed on the ball until then. Unless someone's obviously struggling, they probably just try and keep it the same for the moment, given that there's been too much on the goal, he says.
Yeah, maybe that will change now. Again, good defending from Subeloy, and then Bernal came and took charge. Subeloy's another who's had a good game.
Yeah, he really has. Both centre-halves actually sticking to their tasks in this second half thus far, and this is very much a product of these games on the big pitch, on the big occasion. Fatigue does set in quite early. I think this is a bit of a knock maybe for Diakite, but Subeloy just struggling with something as well, and it's not a rare sight to see quite a few cramping up when they get the opportunity to play at the Bridge.
If it's anything more serious, there's a like-for-like replacement on the bench, and there he is. That would signal that it is going to be the end of the evening for Calvin Diakite. It's Issa Alao, who joined Chelsea in January. He's played 5 times for Sheffield Wednesday's first team this season in the Championship and the Cups of Carabao and FA. And indeed, he is going to come on for Diakite in Chelsea's first change of the evening. Well, gives the opportunity for more refreshments to be taken on, and what's still a very warm evening. Well, the half-time plan didn't work immediately for Oliver Rees. He's still got a couple of options on his bench he could turn to. Will be allowing the first Chelsea change, getting his final instruction from Dan Hogan, who took over midway through the season when Hassan Suleiman moved to a new role. He gets a huge slice of the credit as well, though, Suleiman, for his work in the first half of the campaign. Dan Hogan has steered the ship brilliantly since. So Diakite's lasted an hour. comes on in his place.
Yeah, had a good game. Spoke of that a few moments ago. He's been good defensively, apart from the one moment, I suppose, when he could have got a little tighter, but I've been impressed with his delivery, his quality with the ball, lovely left foot. Looks to be moving okay, so hopefully nothing too concerning.
Playback underway then. Wait. Looking after a Bouet. Burley to win the header brilliantly as well. Here's Reggie Walsh. He goes down under the challenge. Not really enough contact to ever get a penalty for that from Kasim. And he gets the free kick from the slightest of touches from Nicole Yazuli.
Yeah, nearly moments for Reggie Walsh, really. He's got into some excellent positions. He's drive forward at times, but it's just not really fallen for the shot for him, or indeed that opportunity to supply a teammate in the 18-yard box. But he's been full of life and could yet still have a say in this final.
Sibeloy. At the other end, you still think that Teddy Lamb might have an effect on the game, but he's watched it with you and I at the moment. Samuel, have had plenty of nights like that on the pitch where you're frustrated waiting for the ball to come your way. All about sticking to the task, I suppose. As Chelsea ready another change. This is Sol Gordon who's coming to join us, and he's going to take the place of the scorer of the second Chelsea goal, Matissa Bouet. Gordon, who's got double digits in terms of goals himself. Scored against Leicester last time out. He's actually got 5 in his last 6 games. Really impressive showing from Bouet again.
Yeah, excellent first half. He's still probably been the outlet in this second, but been pretty well marshalled by Headley and just couldn't find that execution in the 18-yard box in comparison to how he did in the first 45. But a good night from him, and this is just about fresh legs and guarding against, I suppose, not being able to fulfill your defensive duties as well when you're a wide player because you're getting fatigued. And I've already spoken how that can play a part on nights like tonight. So Chelsea responding to those Manchester City changes with some freshening up themselves.
Manalo, well, that's a clever flick. Gordon straight into the action. Maybe if he'd been on the pitch a couple of minutes longer, he'd have been more attuned to that possibility.
I came at him so quickly. Lovely, inventive forward play again. There's Nwata just flicking it round the corner, but arrived it in such pace, couldn't kill it dead to allow for the shooting opportunity.
Another Chelsea corner then. City haven't had one yet. Almost 3/4 of the way through the 90. A reminder that we could have extra time and penalties if we are, or we will if we're level at the end of 90 minutes. In from Richards. City struggling to get it clear. Quite dropped for a blue shirt. It's come back out Richards' way though. Good position to get it in here. Walsh with the header. Chelsea wanted handball, referee said no, and now there's a break on for City. 3-on-2 just momentarily. Chelsea trying to get bodies back into position. Decent cut back. There's the first chance for Lamb. And a good save from Bernal. Makaidu trying to keep it alive. Still Makaidu deflected, and City do now get their first corner.
Well, they get fortunate, maybe City, because there's suspicions of handball, but then it's Chelsea who are fortuitous that it doesn't end up in a City second. And Manalo just stayed central there when he had the opportunity, I think, to go over and apply pressure to Heskey. Still able to get the ball square. And as you said, Lamb, who's been very peripheral. Here, Manalo just keeping an eye on the centre forward, who in turn still receives the ball. It's a smart save. And here we go. 2 players already feeling the effects of a warm evening on the Stamford Bridge turf.
Richards is up and okay. Corner sent right into the 6-yard box. Cousin trying to keep it alive. Makaidu. Not what he was hoping for. So Richards still feeling the effects of a lot of hard work on a baking hot evening. Great header from Azamwata. Gordon will give chase. Put some pressure on Headley. Walsh again. Weaving his way through. Still waiting for that one big moment tonight is Reggie Walsh.
It's really eye-catching play initially, but then he just overdid it. Had to just take it infield rather than in the outside. Had his centre forward square with him. He was frustrated that the ball didn't come his way.
Played in 9 different competitions this season, Reggie Walsh, including here in the Champions League against Ajax. Nicole Yazuli. Inside the final 20 minutes of the 90 now.
Just gave Wayne an opportunity to get back in by lofting that pass. Had it been slid down into the path of Kevin McQueen, I think there'd only been one winner there. Looking unlikely that Richards is going to be able to recover from this. He's down on the turf again.
And this will be a big loss for Chelsea. Just going to get some help. Does this suggest that it's more than cramp then, if he's needing treatment for it?
Yeah, possibly, although there's obviously quite severe cases of cramp. Normally it does subside, or only certain movements that bring it on, so we'll see if he can recover here. Be a shame. I mean, he was a bright spark in the first half, wasn't he? Hasn't been as prominent in the second.
Let's have a look back at the goals that we've seen there. Well worth another glance. You're a big fan of that Azamwata finish.
Yeah, he's been really good, but that set the standard for what was to come from him. That was really excellent finishing from Bouet on the outside. You'd maybe say that's the pick of the finishes. It's a breathtakingly good strike off the left foot. Makaidu, and McQueen gets his name on the score sheet a little bit fortuitously. Goalkeeper possibly should have done slightly better, but it's given Chelsea a nice cushion. You just worry with the fatigue setting in. Manchester City have still got something in reserve here. 20 or so minutes to go with additional time. Yeah, you want the next goal in this game, otherwise it could get incredibly hairy.
Well, they've got Headley needing treatment as well, and they've only got one outfield sub left of City. Chelsea have still got a couple. Might be survival of the fittest, though. He's going to give it a go. Maybe not. Reggie Watson's down there waiting to come on. Maybe something of a reshuffle. Watson is a central midfielder by trade. City are going to bring on Charlie Courtman. And that is the end of Headley's evening.
Maybe we shouldn't be surprised that it's the two right backs coming off who've got to cover so much ground, essentially playing as attacking midfielders when in possession, and then obviously having to get back against very, very dangerous wide left players. So they've probably covered as much ground as anyone on the pitch.
So Watson on then. He's the son of Ben. If you haven't seen him before, he usually plays in the same position as his dad. Big ringer for him as well, isn't he? Great effort from Richards. The first time we've seen Watson actually since March. He's got a big future though, Louis Richards, somewhere in the game.
Yeah, intelligent footballer, really accomplished with the ball at his feet, shown that he can defend tonight as well, but yeah, maybe those attacking attributes will see him possibly tiptoe a little bit further forward on the pitch when he gets playing, wherever that may be, as a first teamer in a few years' time. Looks like he's got real quality to do so.
So again, City have used all their outfield substitutes now. They've got 15 minutes to find 2 goals. Well, I mean 20 minutes realistically. We had 5 minutes of stoppage time in the first half. We'll get that at least, I would have thought, in the second.
Ronaldo's gone to left back and Lau's gone to right back, so Watson can go into the midfield.
Well, left back is where we normally see London Emanalo for the under-21s.
Yeah, it might not be a bad thing, that.
Foul by Kevin McQueen.
Getting the freshness in at right back, Lau, and fresh legs in the middle of the park. Emanalo in a position that he knows really well. It shouldn't disrupt too much. And yeah, the clock's ticking on, but we're going to have a fair chunk already of injury time. I think the referee was gesticulating to the fourth official, maybe 7 or 8 minutes, couldn't quite see, but it was a fair old stoppage there for the 2 players that went off.
Portland took the free kick quickly. Sarah Lau on the slide. It's a really good tackle second time round. Again, he went to ground, didn't get it thereafter. Well recovered by Waite. Nice piece of skill by Lau, just about kept it in too. Zamata always a willing runner, but firmly second favourite there against Braithwaite. Walsh, brilliant take. Can he get the shot off here, Walsh? Straight at the defender as it turned out. Out for Nicole Yazuli. He couldn't keep it under control. Oh, stumble from Lau. Here's Heskey. Watson coming back to help out. Heskey, I was about to say going down a blind alley, but Lau did him a favour by fouling him. Meanwhile, Nicole Yazuli is the latest to go down. There's a Chelsea player down at the other end of the pitch as well. I think it's Walsh.
Yeah, cramp, isn't it, for Yazuli, Nicole Yazuli. And it was just in the aftermath of that shooting opportunity for Reggie Walsh at the other end. Could have just struck it slightly earlier. It was a brilliant take, and it had opened up, and he's getting a bit of TLC from the referee.
Does it work, that? I've always wondered that. When you just, what are you doing? You're pushing down there.
It just stops the spasm immediately, pretty much. But it's not to say it's not going to come back the next time you stretch. It's awfully painful, but normally it subsides. Normally you can push through it. It might happen again in the same area in the next 10-15 minutes. I mean, this is always a feature, isn't it, of these games, and probably even more so tonight because of the conditions.
And it's the last game of the season, right? They put their all into it for 9 months.
Yeah, there is that. I'm sure people listening will say that the pitch are the same dimensions. I can assure you that when you come from playing at Cobham and the other training grounds and the odd non-league ground into this tonight, you cover more ground, and the pitch feels enormous, and they've put so much into it because of the occasion.
Heskey with the free kicks, a decent one as well. There's an offside in there.
And at the moment, I mean, it's not what you want to see, but it is disjointing the game, and there's zero rhythm really from either side, which suits Chelsea down to the ground because they've got the goals in the first half. So yeah, there's going to be a long time to go yet, but Manchester City being kept very much at arm's length. If anything, Chelsea have looked more likely getting the fourth, which I think finished as the tie.
Portland moved it wide for Heskey. Teasing Allow, and then turning on the afterburners, getting his crossover blocked by Waite. Again, Chelsea's defensive positioning spot on.
Well, plenty of bodies back, and two central midfielders right back on the centre-half's toes. Allow's been pretty steady since he's come on. Heskey's the threat, isn't he, down the left-hand side? He's the one who's made probably the most eye-catching of the substitute cameos thus far, but good passing in from him there.
Watson in the way. There's Ezemwata. Kavuma McQueen, how much has he got left in the tank? Ezemwata again breaking his neck to get in the middle. Referee hasn't seen a clear foul on him, and that means that Kavuma McQueen had to go for goal and dragged the shot wide. And Ezemwata, unsurprisingly, looks over to the assistant on that side and said, "Could you not have helped me out?"
Yeah, and it's great play again because he's not satisfied with what is a brilliant pass. Good take, good pass into Kavuma McQueen. And there's definitely a tussle there. Goes to ground, not the best angle for Kavuma McQueen, especially as he's tiring. Dragged his shot ultimately, but all about that centre forward who, for my money, I can't think of anyone who's been better on the pitch. Not because I'm biased or because he's got a goal, but the all-round game has been terrific. And he's limping off now, but there's not been too many signs of him tiring in this second half either.
Goyazuli, that was a tired mistake. Kaidu couldn't get there because Emanalo did, not once but twice, and then almost a third time. So you're just starting to increase the pressure a little. It's a risky challenge. Risky trying to make something of it. Eventually Bernal opts for the safety first option, or maybe it's more than that because Ezemwata and Kavuma McQueen both applying the pressure here.
And it looked like a slight trip, didn't it? Samba going to ground. I'm sure it is probably an award that would have been given had it been away from the 18-yard box. And Manalo just dangled his leg, didn't he? He had two opportunities to go through and really challenge with a bit of meat to clear Chelsea's lines. Just dangled his left foot, and City were in for a decent opportunity to get a shot away.
Throw. Just what Chelsea wanted. Kieran Kassim, the culprit. Something there off the ball between Drake and Ezemwata, quickly forgotten. Makaidu. Great tackle, Reggie Watson. Quickly lost possession though. Here's Makaidu again. We know he can shoot from this kind of distance, but it's sourced by Subaloi.
Done the hard work, hadn't he, Watson? Great challenge, and the pass was down the left-hand channel. Kavuma McQueen went inside to bodies, and Makaidu away once more for another attempt. But how many times have Chelsea defenders, Subaloi in particular, positioned himself to get a block on the ball? Brilliant stuff.
There's a speculative effort, which is no threat to Bernal. Well, there's still time in the game, probably 10 minutes or more, but I think there'll be a lot of regret from City if they don't turn this round. From way below the standard they've set for themselves this season.
It feels at the moment just a game too far for them. Not complaining, but blown away in that first half and haven't really had the reaction in the second. On the other side of it is a Chelsea team that has finished the season incredibly powerfully, confidently. It's been a terrific display. They haven't really rode their luck either in this second half. Disciplined, all about determination, in contrast to what was a pretty fluid display in the opening 45. So both sides of the game for 85 minutes done wonderfully well.
Another injury victim here. Good job this wasn't an 8 o'clock kickoff. Everybody would have been in danger of missing the last tube. So Chelsea winners in 2017 and 2018. They've won the PL South title 5 times. Won it in 2024. The likes of Joshua Champong, Tyreek George, Rio and Gamoa in that team. Teo Subaloi still involved tonight. Harrison Murray-Campbell, Shimeuka as well. Lost the final that year to Man United here. Joshua Champong scored in that game with a 2-1 win for United. Looks like it's going to be defeat in the national final for the second season running for City. Of course, they have used all their outfield substitutes here. Pacing nervously, you can understand why. Harrison Miles is the player who has the problem for City. Don't let that lull you into a false sense of security. There's a lot longer than 3 minutes of this game left. Allows header. It's a good challenge from Kavuma McQueen. I think it was Nicole Yazuli who was penalised. They've taken the free kick quickly. Allows quickly won it back. Gordon helped him out. Good work from Ezemwata, unlucky. City look just as tired as Chelsea do, I think. Has anybody got anything left in the tank to affect this game in the very closing stages of it? Courtman. Walsh all the way back there, trying to win it back. Heskey. We've got something on that. Watson goes steaming in, wins the free kick. That whistle music to Chelsea ears. Yellow card as well for Karim Kassim.
Well, he's done great, Watson. He's done exactly what his coaches would have wanted him to do. He's won ball back in the midfield, been tenacious, kept it simple when he's in possession. More of that across, I think, what the referee was just suggesting is going to be 10 minutes added on, unless I misheard him. Look how determined he is, how bright he is to get to that loose ball, knows exactly what he's doing, and some more time to run down off that clock because of his good work.
Does remind you of his dad, doesn't he?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Yeah, he's going to be bigger as well, isn't he? He's already probably same size, slightly taller, I would say.
Kavuma McQueen to settle it. The goalkeeper with his shot. Walsh. Yazuli. Oh, clever ball, great run as well. Flag stays down and Sol Gordon's going to walk it in for 4-1, and surely that's the title for Chelsea. The Blues wrap it up as the clock ticks towards 90. Gordon off the bench to score again. What a run he's on at the moment. It's Chelsea 4, Manchester City 1.
And the goalkeeper's up, and that feels like the pivotal moment. Yes, there's going to be a lot of time added on, but that feels now, with a 3-goal cushion, that it's good night. Manchester City and Chelsea are going to be holding the silverware in 15 minutes time or so, and it's a brilliantly crafted goal. We were speaking about Watson down on the left-hand side. I think it's him who picks up the ball and shifts it infield. Initially, so many options available for Nicole Yazuli. Got plenty of teammates in support. Look at the disguise on it. He looks right, he plays left, and the run from Gordon is perfectly timed. And it's that touch, perfectly away from the goalkeeper. He knows, his teammates know. That's the gloss on a brilliant performance.
6 in 7 for Sol Gordon. Chelsea thrashing City here. Well, this is the same scoreline by which City knocked Chelsea out of the Youth Cup in February, so sweet revenge for that. 10 minutes of stoppage time indeed were signalled. Just what you want to hear when you're barely standing and riddled with cramp, I'm sure.
Yeah, it will feel a lot better than it could have done at 3-1. I think with City still probing, yes, not making loads of chances, but obviously still looking at the clock.
Trying to get one back straight away here. Decent cutback from Makaidu, who smacked the bar, and he should have scored. Open goal.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's only 8-9 minutes remaining, but that's still a big moment, because you just never know with the quality that they've got in their ranks. That's a bad miss from the player who lit up the first half with the City goal.
Allow. Heskey took it back off him. Came back and won it with the help of Esmwata.
He's been the one, Heskey, with a bit more life about him, a bit more running. Looks a little fresher. The other substitutes haven't had the effect, but he's been well marshalled, got to say, by Allow, who's gone over there and done a pretty fine job. A bit of frustration there.
Walsh involved. Everybody wants to get on the scene as well. Chelsea boys can just walk away.
Yeah, and that was very much not in keeping with the game. Lamb, I think it is, getting the card waved in his direction.
Well, he's just not been a factor in the game, has he? And that is born of frustration, I think, the fact that he made that challenge.
Yeah, he's had the one chance, hasn't he, which was brilliantly repelled by Bernal. He can do nothing about this, the goalkeeper. It's the woodwork coming to his aid. Great play, lovely cutback, it's perfect. A little bit disguised actually on it, and you can see the frustration. Samba, I think it was, he put it on the plate for the wide player.
Chelsea nearly there. Foul throw, referee happy for it to go on, but City going to get one anyway. A long journey back to Manchester stewing on this. Allow. If you're one of the many scouts in the stand tonight, Sam, who would have caught your eye in a Chelsea shirt?
God, that's a question. I mean, from 1 to 11, they've been excellent. Oh, goalkeeper should have come there.
Yeah, and Makaidu's going to square it. Just to emphasise your point, there was an error, but Chelsea collectively sorted it out.
Yeah, and the goalkeeper actually, he's not had loads to do, has he, in terms of saves, but he looks the part, the goalkeeper, but now, so he's set, I think, a solid foundation. I've actually liked the performance of Nicole Yazuli in the midfield. The centre forward has been terrific. There's Morta. We know what Kavuma McQueen can do off the left-hand side. That would probably be the pick, along with the two centre-halves, who have not been overly worked, but have put in some really good blocks as well. But yeah, the centre-forward, for my money, obviously I pay special attention to those guys, but he got his goal early, not resting on his laurels, and led the line terrifically. I can remember 1 or 2 times when the ball came back off him. He's been brilliant.
Roy all the way back to Bernal. Caught that flush all the way through to his opposite number. Hopefully this is just one last issue of cramp to deal with.
Yeah, it's a bad case of cramp because you can hear his yelps from up here at the top of the stand. He just moved the ball and it just seized up. Hopefully for him it's just subsiding now that physios have got to him, but yeah, looks like a bad case of cramp that for a player. He's really impressed, and yeah, just put the gloss, as I said, on the performance with arguably the pass of the night. Gordon's run and finish. I know they've got a job to do, but you think the whistle could go now, couldn't you?
Yeah, there's no point risking any further injury. Certainly no need to add on this time to the 10 minutes of added time. That player welfare as much as anything else.
There's going to be some sore bodies down there tonight, that's for sure.
We're trying to stretch it out. Portman. Here's Drake over. Didn't get his touch right. Well dealt with there by Braithwaite, covering McQueen, chasing what looked a lost cause and proved to be. Nicole Yazuli. Emanalo. Excellent piece of skill from Landon Emanalo. Still looks fresh. Wanted it back from Azamata, who couldn't quite return it to him. And Emanalo felt the effects of that run.
Yeah, I thought he was being a bit overconfident there, continuing his run rather than just shifting it off when surely his legs are getting as tired as anyone.
Great work from Azamata, really has been excellent in this game. And he wants some more noise from the East Stand. Shin Mayuka's taken the headlines in terms of Chelsea's academy strikers this season, but Azamata is ready to tell his story too. Referee, just take a look at the state of the players and then take a look at your watch and have some mercy. Azamata's down now, 102nd minute. Still City come forward. Lamb can't make anything happen, and surely that's the end of it, and that's not what you really want to see, the Chelsea players surrounding Teddy Lamb.
Yeah, just a product of what happened 5 or so minutes ago when he flew into a challenge unnecessarily. But yeah, it's been played in a really good spirit. There's not been a bad tackle in the 100 minutes. I can't believe we're still playing. I mean, he actually whooped up the crowd, didn't he, the centre forward, ran back into the centre forward position. He didn't even go towards the ball, didn't even go above a light jog, and then I think it's cramped with him as well, I would presume. Is it the right leg? Getting some treatment now.
There's a whole line of Manchester City physios on the end of the pitch. Referee's just standing hands on hips, like we're going to play another 45 minutes. Those down there stretching out, Azamata still getting treatment. He's going to need to be helped off the field here. The man of the match for my money, and many others I'm sure, Chiziez and Marta. Now, if the referee's got any sense, he'll see what's happening here and blow for full time.
Yeah, that maybe looks a little bit more serious than some of the other players that have gone down. I think it could be his groin. And then he has been magnificent from the first whistle. Thorn in Manchester City's side.
Kavuma McQueen, we might be playing next goal wins. Kavuma McQueen's going to get it. Brilliant. How about that to finish it off? 5-1 in style. Chelsea, the under-18 Premier League national champions. Everybody's on the pitch now. The Blues top of the class at under-18 level. What a way to claim the championship. Brilliant scenes at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 5, Manchester City 1.
And no sign of fatigue with one of Chelsea's main men, who's had a great night, and he's capped it with a really fine individual goal. The power, the drive at this late stage, the latest of stage. And he just slalomed towards the target, and you knew, Matt, as he pulled the left foot back, there was so much of the right hand side of the goal unguarded. He was going to find it, puts it in with real pace. And is that the last kick of the game? Yes, it is.
Chelsea are the under-18 Premier League national champions. The Blues have hammered Manchester City in the final here. 5-1 the final score. A breathtaking start, saw them score twice in the opening 10 minutes. City pulled one back, but Chelsea were 3-1 up at half-time, and then 2 late goals to settle it. Revenge for the FA Youth Cup defeat back in February, and in some style as well. A thumping great victory. Chelsea, the best in the country, and on tonight's evidence, by a country mile. A chastening defeat for Manchester City, but Sam Parkin, Chelsea, front to back and off the bench, brilliant tonight.
Yeah, superb performance. It was probably about the attacking play, inventiveness in the first half that saw them 3-1 to the good, and one hand on the trophy in essence. Second half all about grit, determination, defending the box. It was very disjointed the second half, which I think aided Chelsea in their pursuit of the trophy, and got stronger as the night went on. None of the Manchester City substitutes really had the necessary effect, and in the end, vastly superior, deserved to be champions. And some brilliant individual performance. Thoroughly enjoyed it. The quality of the game, the calibre of these young players on both sides, breathtakingly good tonight, but Chelsea far superior. And third time lucky against Manchester City, great.
To underline the ridiculousness of how much time was added on there, that 5th goal from Kavuma McQueen, timed at 90 plus 14. Teddy Lamb, a non-factor in the final, the top scorer in the competition this season. His opposite number, Chiziez and Marta, sensational throughout the game for Chelsea. It was his goal that got the party started. Eboué got the second a couple of minutes later. Makaidu with an absolute screamer, the former Chelsea man, made it 2-1, but Kavuma McQueen had restored the Blues 2-goal buffer by half-time, and then Gordon, the substitute, bang on 90 minutes, and deep into stoppage time, Kavuma McQueen with his second of the game. This is the final goal from Kavuma McQueen.
Yeah, and he strode away from that Manchester City back line, and he's still got the fitness levels to steam off in celebration. I mean, there was no sign of fatigue from him until that final ball was booted towards the Chelsea goal. He was superb in this second half, actually. Had 1 or 2 other opportunities, actually, didn't he, on his left side, dragged one and had a stinging drive from the edge of the box. But yeah, I said at the top of the game tonight, needed the players that have got the more senior experience to come to the fore on occasions like this evening, and he certainly did. Walsh didn't have that final little bit of quality in the 18-yard box, but my goodness me, he covered some ground, nicked it together really impressively. So yeah, I mean, they're not senior in terms of their age, but they've had a little taste of first team football, being around it, and they certainly led by example tonight.
And nobody in a blue shirt put a foot wrong really throughout the course of the game. It was straightforward for Chelsea. Just wondered when City pulled it back to 2-1 if they were going to launch some sort of a fight back, but really it never looked like materialising. Much better than they showed tonight, I think, are Manchester City. But this is Chelsea's night. Dan Hogan's about to lead the victory speech. Celebrations will go on long into the night. Again, a word for Hassan Suleiman, who started off this season as the under-18s coach and set the foundations for what's followed. Fantastic success. Credit to these boys as well for dealing with that change of coach, but then the fact that Dan Hogan went off on first time and first team duty as well. While we await the construction of the stage for the trophy presentation, let's have a look at the best bits of tonight's game. Some real high quality goals, particularly from this man Aboué for the second, but this was nicely worked as well.
Yeah, showed maturity with that pass infield. Could have easily shot himself. Kavuma McQueen with the kind of placed effort, looking for the bottom right hand corner. Vickery probably a little frustrated he doesn't push that out of harm's way, but the centre forward setting the tone really for what was an exquisite performance from him. He wanted that played into his stride, but Aboué goes alone for the second and he finds the far corner with unerring ease. In essence, brilliant finish from him. He was incredibly bright for 45 minutes. Manchester City a bit slow to get across to him, but the finish is beautiful in the end.
So we'd only played for what, 9 minutes at that point, and Chelsea were already 2-0 up. And this is where you thought the game might change, Sam. Great goal from Makaidu, but not much from City thereafter.
Yeah, and he just got done a little bit there, Diakite, because Headley had started really high on that right-hand side. You can see he gets drawn towards that run initially, and maybe Emanalo, one of the centre-halves, could have helped him out a little, because in essence it was a 2v1 which caused him the problem.
And then Kavuma McQueen with the first of his brace of goals. Not good from the City keeper, but Kavuma McQueen showing us what he can do.
Yeah, and again, I think it was Drake that was slow to get across for the second Chelsea goal, and this time it's Branthwaite who doesn't get across. You've got to come and engage a little bit. It's too easy to get the strike away, but yeah, again, Vickery would have fancied saving that at his near post. This was just a brilliant little bit of play. It was getting very disjointed at this point, but Yuzuli with the pass of the night, and Gordon coming on and doing what he's done so frequently across the last weeks of the season, getting himself a goal. It's the first touch which takes out the goalkeeper, and then it's a foregone conclusion that it's going to be the fourth and the end of the game essentially as a contest.
That was Sol Gordon off the bench onto the score sheet. And then in the ludicrous amount of second half stoppage time, Ryan Kavuma McQueen decided to give us a parting gift.
Yeah, it was Drake, the Manchester City defender, just struggling really to live with him at this stage. The drive, the fitness, going to the bitter end. Kavuma McQueen, and tidy finish given the circumstances of the game. Players are strewn across the turf, but him still fit as a fiddle to stick away the fifth.
So in just a couple of minutes' time, we'll lift the trophy and get their medals. Poor old Manchester City players having to lay on the turf and take it. Good to see the Chelsea boys now going over to commiserate. By and large, played in a good spirit the game. Some of these players will be renewing friendships when they join up with the England under-18s. and respect between the two sets of players, Sam, after 3 hard-fought games between them over the course of the season in 3 different competitions. Good to see Callum McFarlane down there offering his congratulations, among others.
Yeah, in the way of the Premier League, youth football now, and the international stage, the level that they're already at, these young players, they will be mixing with these guys, with their national teams, and we'll know of them. A lot of them will be from same areas, we'll have known them coming through the systems, despite being at other clubs. So, yeah, the respect's obvious here, now that the adrenaline has just died somewhat.
Referee and his team will get their medals first. Kane Dempster, Wayne Pocock, Hassan Rejwani and John Patrick Kane. Nice memento for them. The medals that nobody really wants. Silver for City. No domestic double for them this season then. Painful walking past that trophy, Sam, I'm sure.
Yeah, not their night. That's an understatement. Well beaten by a brilliant Chelsea performance, but it's still been an outstanding season for a lot of these young Manchester City players. Obviously got their hands on the Youth Cup not so long ago, which they will be delighted about against their rivals as well. But maybe just a game too far tonight against a really highly motivated opponent who hadn't had the Youth Cup final and obviously had finished the season with so many victories, so many goals, so many good performances. I think they just ran into a very, very motivated Chelsea tonight.
Here come the boys in blue then. Teo Subaloi and Toby Bell, the reserve goalkeeper tonight. First up. Get their medals, they'll take their place on the podium. And then Dante Waite will lift the trophy. Landon Emanalo, who's mainly been with the under-21s, but he's more than played his part in this campaign for the under-18s too. What a season for Teo Subaloi, Scholar of the Year. And now he's a national champion too. Some of those not involved tonight getting their medals as well. Grimwade there with his shirt on, didn't get on the pitch tonight. Kevin McQueen, who got his 2 goals. Nicole Yazuli, who's moving okay now. Everybody, as you said, Sam, is going to be very sore in the morning though.
Yeah, some very wholehearted performances. It's just the nature of the beast here. I remember it from my time as well. It just feels different. The legs tire quicker. I don't know if it's the occasion as well as the pitch, but you just cover probably more ground naturally, and yeah, had a negative effect on so many players tonight, and always seems to. Thankfully, didn't need the necessity of an extra half an hour, which nobody would have wanted, and the game was done.
I mean, we practically had that in stoppage time anyway, didn't we? So
we did.
Last up then, Chizzy Ezemwata, and then it's going to be Dante Waite to get his medal before he gets his mitts on the silverware. He'll hope it's the first of many honours, many trophies that he will lift in his career. And he gets the honour of lifting the Under-18 Premier League National Championship. Chelsea are the champions of the Under-18 Premier League for 2025-26. And they have done it in style. A crushing victory over Manchester City in the national final after dominating the Southern Division. Worthy Southern champions and fitting national champions too. Chelsea, the Premier League national champions at under 18 level for 2025-26. Dante Waite is going to take the trophy over to those in the East Stand. Special moments for friends and family as well as the players, of course. Thank you for your company tonight, wherever you've tuned in from. A successful evening for the Chelsea Academy again. Chelsea are the under-18 Premier League national champions. That's all from Sam and I for now, and for this season. It's goodbye.